So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can insert an element as a middle child. Now to demonstrate this, I've created this HTML document with several paragraphs, and I'll just show you the source code here. It's simply 6 paragraphs inside a parent element with some very basic styling up there. And this links to script.js, and in my script.js file, I have this so far. So what I'm doing is creating a new element here. I'm selecting the parent element, which is this parent div here. So selecting that by its ID, and then I'm selecting an existing element within it, which is the middle child. So I'm going to come back to that in a moment. What I want to show you first of all is that it's really easy to insert an element as a first child or a last child using prepend or append. So we can just say parent.prepend, and then I'm just going to pass in the new element I've created here, which is an image, and this is then going to be a first child in the DOM. So it's just taking a moment to load, and here is our image as first child. That was prepend. If I use append, it will be inserted into the DOM as the last child. But how would we insert this image halfway through the article? So this is something you might typically do if you're inserting an ad on your blog, or you want to insert some sort of information halfway through an article. So we can't obviously use append or prepend, and it's a little bit long-winded. So the syntax for insert before, going to get rid of this append here, it's the following. We take the parent, then we apply the insert before method to the parent element, and then we pass in as a first argument the element we want to append to the DOM, and as a second argument the element that should be that it should be inserted before, so it's an existing element in the DOM. Now the way I've selected the existing element here is I haven't hard-coded it, I'm doing it dynamically. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the parent, calculating the length of its children and dividing that by 2, and then rounding whatever the result of that is to calculate the position of the middle child within the parent. And then I am taking the parent.children and I'm selecting the middle element, and I'm saving that in a variable called element. So let's have a look at how we would apply insert before in this example, and you'll see what I mean by it being a little long-winded here. So we say parent, okay, so that's the parent element we saved in the variable, insert before, and then we need to pass in the new element, which is the image, and then the existing element we want to insert the image before, that is going to be what we call element there. So if I head over to the DOM now, you'll see that, and reload, you'll see that works just fine. We've inserted the image as a middle element. So this is the way you can use vanilla JavaScript to insert an element as a middle child. Now, as I said, it's a little long-winded, so what I want to show you now is how you can simplify insert before by creating a function that will just select the parent element automatically. So I'm going to head back to my script. I'm going to actually just comment this out. And down here, under simplifying insert before, I'm going to create a new function. I'm going to call it my insert before. And I'm going to pass in just the new element and the existing element. Okay, they're going to be the parameters. I'm not going to have to specify the parent. So here I create a variable called parent inside this function. And the parent's going to be the existing element dot parent element. Okay, and then I'm just going to apply insert before as I did previously. So parent, which is now dynamically specified, insertBefore, and then the insertBefore function is going to take new element and existing element. Okay. Now what I can do is, if I head back up here, I'll write it next to the original call so you can see it. We can now just say my insertBefore, okay, and then we only have to pass in image and element. We don't have to specify the parent explicitly. So this is a way of simplifying the amount of information that you have to feed in to insertBefore. Now you may be wondering about insertAfter. So I'm going to try that now. So I'll say parent.insertAfter, pass in the image and the element in the same way. Now if I refresh this, you'll see that nothing is happening, and if I open my inspector tools, you'll see that insertAfter isn't actually a function in JavaScript, but we can create one. So the way that we do that is, again, write a function. This time I'm going to call it, we can just call it insert, or we'll call it my insertAfter just to be consistent. Okay, new element, existing element. So we are going to make a small change here, and that is the existing element that we insert new element before. We're going to select the next element down. So we'll say next sibling. So that's a workaround you can use to create insertAfter functionality. So now if I say, let's go back up. So if I go back up here now, I can just change this now to my insertAfter, and I'm passing in again the image is the new element and the existing element is the element, and then inside the function it's actually selecting the next sibling to create the insertAfter effect. And you can see now that it's one paragraph down from the middle paragraph. So in summary, you can use insertBefore just as it is in vanilla JavaScript by specifying the parent element and then the new and the existing element. You can also create your own custom functions, such as I've done here, to minimize the amount of information that you have to input, so you don't have to insert the parent element as well. So that's it for this video. I hope you found that useful.